We get a win, we get a statement. How do you view this?
I think every win is a statement just because, look, we lost to the Arizona Cardinals and it was like everybody had something bad to say. So I feel like every win is important for us just to prove how good we can be and the potential to keep getting better.
You say they knocked us out of the playoffs the last 2 years. Some look at them as contenders. We beat them. Maybe people look at us a little
I
differently.
mean, I think they're contenders regardless, whether we beat them or not. It's a team that you got to worry about when it comes to January and February football.
Trent Williams calls this an ice bag game because of how physical it is. Is this one of those games you find yourself really hurting after?
For sure. It's always a sludge match. It's always going to be hard fought. I feel like they play us harder than anybody, and I definitely feel like it's going to be one of them games.
Do you like those type of games?
I do. I've been tapped into my mode all week. I feel great. I'm ready to kind of get after it now.
How do you get into the mindset? Sorry, John.
Man, I really try to stay in it, but like for games like this, because the volume of how, how they look at it and how we look at it is, it's one of the biggest stages. Cowboys, 49ers is nothing better.
Do you pay attention at all to what Nick Bosa does in this game? Is there anything motivational for you?
Nah, not really. With Nick, that's just what he do and his skill set, and from our side, I always admire and see what they do because sometimes that was crazy. So I always admire what other defenses do, but this is just Cowboys versus 49ers, who's better.
Given his resume, real quick, but given his resume last year, you guys were both in contention for NFC Defensive Player of the Year. Now you look at your resume, kind of got a nice little edge there. Do you look forward to padding your resume with a game like this?
I feel like I look forward to pat it every week, to be honest with you. Games where I feel like I just can't get there, it's definitely frustrating. But it's a game where I can make a statement of, how good of a player I can be and where I belong when it comes to top defensive players.
So last week, an example of where you didn't have any sacks. Sorry. You had 8 quarterback pressures, and you do other things to create things for other people.
Yeah, for sure. When a team tries to isolate you and tries to make an example saying you won't ruin the game, it leaves guys to eat and do what they do. And, it's important. They're going to get paid they're going to get theirs. And that's always important because it makes teams play honest. So when guys like Stam and Tay step up big for us, it's always important.
Micah, how aware are you of the rivalry of this franchise, 90s NFC title games, the catch, all that kind of? How aware are you of all that stuff?
Prior to here, I saw it was definitely big, especially when Irvin was here and things like that, and how big it was. But when they came down here, I really saw it my rookie year, and seeing it last year, how big that game was and how expensive the tickets get. I saw so. That impact, I was like, oh, this is serious,
Have any of the guys that have been, Charles or any of these guys been around, told you about what it's like? What was
No.
like then?
Charles, you don't get nothing out of Charles besides some very outlandish things. So,
But he was with the Niners and he came to the Cowboys. Has he ever said, oh, this is why I came here?
Nah, he's never once said that to me, and we still don't know why we see Charles sometimes. It's still
Is Christian McCaffrey among the most versatile guys that you go against, and could you discuss how the various ways that they try and utilize him?
Yeah, Christian, I think he's the most versatile back in the NFL when it comes to how the 49ers use him. You can almost say he's a running back that plays receiver, or you can say he's a receiver that plays running back. The way he gets open, the way you can't just put anybody on him. Sometimes you might want to put a DB on him, just how good he is with his routes and things like that, and how dynamic he is, and then the way he's able to make people miss. There's nobody better in the NFL. So, you look at what he does and how explosive he is. It's something that we got to be watchful of.
Micah, he hasn't lost a fumble in over 4 years. Purdy hasn't thrown an interception in over 200 passes. You guys take the ball away as well as any team.
Yeah.
You talk about that challenge. Something has to give, right?
Yeah, something has to give, especially with Purdy. I don't think he's played perfect, but I think he's played really good, and I think there's opportunities there. People just haven't capitalized on. And, he's been really terrific through, past 2 years, and he's definitely solidified himself as one of them guys you have to watch, one of the top 15 quarterbacks and things like that. And, Christian, I mean, I didn't think the way he always mindful of the ball. He's always high and tight. He always in Dr. Pepper mode. So, he's just really good. And, that's what you want out of your backs, guys, is going to protect the ball and not turn over. And same thing with Purdy. So, we got to try our best ability to kind of reverse their tricks that they've been on.
Can you explain Dr. Pepper mode? What is that for us uninitiated?
Yeah, Dr. Pepper is just when you got, your 2 fingers on the top of the football, and anytime you ever see him in traffic, he's always like this, and he's not afraid to go down or fight for more yards.
Yeah, why is that?
That's what Bones calls it. I just follow my special
I'm
teams
glad you
meeting.
asked. I'm like, is my football IQ that low?
Mike, how are you feeling coming out of that game? I know you had your knee and your ankle looked at.
Yeah, it's definitely a banged up game. But honestly, after getting my treatments and doing the extra work that I need to do to get prepared for this game, I feel really great and high-spirited right now.
That was a little different from last year because you got nicked up toward the end of the year. Now this year's a little bit earlier. Are you kind of like doing extra stuff just in general? Or
Yeah, I'm staying on top of everything. I'm not really putting a price on my body. I'm just doing everything I can to stay as sharp and as best as I can to make sure I don't burn out in that last end of the season.
How did some of your off-season work help you with just your stamina and your ability to get through some of these more physical games?
Yeah,
Felt like you were working out a lot more this off-season than you have in years past.
Yeah, for sure. And I was just like, I wanted to train my body to prepare to go to the distance instead of just preparing it to just like, hey, like I'm really good and I can just kind of do whatever. I just wanted to chase something bigger than myself this year, and I knew the opportunity and the guys we have, and I just didn't want to waste this opportunity.
You've talked about how much the playoff losses to these guys have stung. Obviously, it's just one game, but how can you use it as an early measuring stick?
You just use it as like a game like, hey, this is where we at last year. This is where we're at now. I'm all about now. How can we define ourselves now, and how can we say this is who we are and get a statement win and come back here and show how good we really are.
And going back to McCaffrey, you guys had success against him in that last game. What do you remember about that?
I think we held tight and we made him earn everything, and we're going to have to do that again. I think the biggest thing these guys know how to do, if you look at their film, they know how to make guys miss, and they break a lot of tackles which extend for 10, 15 yards. If we could just tackle, run to the football hard as hell, it'll be a long game for both teams.
Mike, do you have any conversations with Dak at all during the week about this game? I know how much you want it, and he wants it as well.
No, I don't really talk to Dak too often. He's so busy on how he's game planning and what they're doing, and I'm busy with Dan and AD on our game plan, how we need to stop. So it's 2 different conversations right there, but we just talk about when we're going to play ping pong, really.
Is he better at it than you?
No, he is not. No, he's not.
Who's
you can
better
ask
than
him
you
that.
at it?
Leighton Vander Esch.
Okay.
It's the Idaho, bro. They ain't got nothing.
We got nothing else to do, huh?
They ain't got nothing else to do. I'm telling you.
Mike, you got some guys that said Mike's the typical Pittsburgh guy. Someone from Pennsylvania. What does that mean? What's a typical Pittsburgh guy?
Mike just talks about his Pittsburgh times a lot. I think he owns in on it. He looks back on it like it was a great time. I don't see too much in Pittsburgh, and there's not too much in Harrisburg either. So that's about as good as it could get for you right there. I just think he's an honest, true man, and he just loves what he does.
They not ping pong at Harrisburg.
We ain't got no ping pong.
Micah, you spoke on Zach Wilson's treatment from the media. You don't ever see a player really talk about an opponent. What made you feel like you had to talk about that?
Just for me, I'm all about just staying in it. And I just feel like so many times that the media just always throws out negative things on certain players. And I just think it's almost like bullying online. Like we're just being social media bullies. And, you really hate to see that, especially because it's one thing if you say I'm garbage to my face, we're on the field, we're competing, and we're hammering out, and it's just getting the best of us. We're in the moment. But it's another thing when a guy can't even defend himself. You don't know what's going on in his room. You don't know what's going on in their team, and you just out there calling another man garbage on live TV. I feel like, and we see that in the draft when guys use these moments where this should be a special moment for a kid and bash them about their past. I just feel like as humans and as like people who have these platforms, we should just be better and more mindful of how we talk about people and how those things can impact someone. Because you never know what someone's journey is. You never know their story. So I'm just calling out the social media bullies because we really shouldn't be like that, bro.
Is it worse when it's a former player?
I think it is worse from a former player because you should know better than anyone how it goes, how you're treated, how things could be misinterpreted, especially because no one knows your defense better than you do. No one knows their offense better than they do. So we don't know if Zach Wilson's making bad reads. We don't know if, the receiver's making the wrong route. We don't know any of that stuff. We just know what we see from our own two eyes, and it's all about perspective. So perspective of the judgment is what I'm talking about. So, you can be who you are, but as a true, honest player, and where I'm coming from, I would never speak down on someone. Just like the Daniel Jones play. They talk about Daniel Jones so much, but I just saw 5 people just come free. But how's he supposed to make a read when he has 6'8" defensive linemen in his face? It's just perspective, And I just think people need to take better perspective on how they talk about people and how they treat people online.
Does it remind you of when you came out of the draft?
Rodney Harrison's going to be at that game. They do that post-game show.
Yeah.
Would you go on it?
To be honest with you, I would go on it. I have nothing to no hate towards Ronnie. I was just calling out that particular moment. I just hate because a guy like Chris Jones would come up there and it's like, oh, you're special. I just don't want fake love. Fake love is always bad for me. Fake energy. Keep the same energy for everyone. We're not one to decide who's special and who's not special. So if Ronnie came up to me, say I'm garbage too, I'll take it. Just be real with me as possible. Be real with everyone, to be honest with you. So I wouldn't say I wouldn't do anything with Ronnie because I have no hate. He has never done anything to me. But it is what it is.
Does the criticism remind you of when you came out of the draft? Because there was talk about some things that you had done.
Yeah, for sure. And I know what it feels like to have everyone go against you. I know what it feels like to have people bash you online and things like that. And it's never good. You see the stuff, people tell you about the stuff. Oh, do you see this? Even sometimes my mom would say, oh, you see so-and-so got released? I said, yes, Mom, I saw that. But people just see that stuff online and they even give it to you. Ask Clarence what them little kids said to me yesterday. 10, 11-year-olds were like, do you like that? He throws interceptions. I was like, what the hell? I said, parents, y'all got to get them from Twitter. It's just, so, y'all got to realize the influence that you guys have in these platforms because, listen, I don't want no 10-year-old telling me that my quarterback stinks. So I definitely think we need to be mindful of what we say on TV and what we say online because these kids look up to us.
You say more NFL players are using their voice in comparison. NBA players have always used their voices away from the court. Are you seeing more NFL players do that now?
I think so. I think I'm a perfect example. I have free mind on Twitter and social media because, to be honest with you, it's bigger. It's bigger than, you should share your story. You should share your thoughts and you should share your spirits and put it among people because, like I said, it just takes one person belief, bravery, and, I'm big on courage. It's easy to do what everyone else is doing. It takes courage to do something different.
You do feel more unencumbered than any player I've seen around this place, though.
Yeah, for sure. Because it's life.
But do you feel like it's because you back up a lot of the stuff that you also say?
Nah, even if I was trash, I would say it. For sure.
But you also can't be misquoted or taken out of context when you say it yourself.
Yeah, exactly. Just like Leighton. Leighton has beat me 100 times in ping pong already. I beat Leighton one time. He didn't hear the end of it. And that's all it takes for me. You suck. I don't care. I'm better than you. It is what it is. You should always, no matter what, God gave you a vision. God gave you everything, the tools you need. Use it. Speak on it. That's why you have your own mind. Speak your mind.
Thank you, man.
Of course.
Thanks for coming to your TED Talk.
Oh, of course.
Thanks,
you
Micah.
catch you on the edge on Mondays.